Alright, so it's the morning after UFC 304, and we have a new welterweight champion in Belal Muhammad, and I gotta say that I'm eating my words over here. And I'm pretty sure that Dana White himself was hoping to see Leon win as well, seeing as he was pretty visibly irritated throughout last night's post-fight press conference, but we'll get into that in a moment. Before we talk about Dana White quietly seething over the results of UFC 304, I want to give Belal some props really quickly. Belal said that he was going to make it look easy against Leon, and that's how it looked. Belal said that he was going to beat Leon in the striking, and shockingly to me, that's exactly what he did. I mean, just based on the first time these guys fought each other, I fully expected Leon to be the superior fighter, but last night Belal proved to the world that he has improved so much since when they first fought back in 2021. I really didn't expect Belal to be that much of a better fighter than Leon was last night, but hey, the better man definitely won, and he for sure earned it. And who knows how long Belal is going to be able to hold the belt with Shavkat Rakhmonov waiting in the wings. Regardless, I would definitely say that Belal deserves a bit more respect from the fans for doing what he did last night. Anyways, let's talk about Dana White, because even though I'm personally kind of indifferent to Belal being champion, I think you can definitely tell that Dana is not at all pleased at the results of the main event last night. I mean, first and foremost, check out Dana's cold, dead look on his face when he puts the belt on Belal. Like, this is not the face of a man who is happy to see Belal Muhammad as the new welterweight champion. Just based on Dana's facial expression here, I would have thought that he was heading into his first ever prostate exam, not donning the belt on one of his new champions. Like, it seriously looks like Dana would rather be passing a kidney stone than wrapping the belt around Belal's waist here. Then, at the post-fight press conference, the very first question that Dana was asked was what he thought about the main event, and he didn't even try to hide how displeased he is with the situation.
Then on his performance and Leon Edwards' performance.
Wasn't a barn burner.
Like, I really feel like just based on the facial expressions that Dana makes in response to this question, you can see how irritated he is with how the main event went down. And although I agree with Dana that the fight wasn't a barn burner, I actually thought the main event was a little bit more interesting to watch than he's giving it credit for. Like, no, this definitely wasn't Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker levels of excitement, but I did enjoy watching Belal versus Leon too, personally. Then the same reporter does a follow-up question, and again, I really get an unmistakable sense of disdain from Dana in his response.
Do you think maybe Leon kind of, to me, looked a little bit lethargic? Maybe the time was hurting him a bit more than Belal. Do you think that was a factor? Or do you think Belal's pressure was just too much for him to overcome?
I have no clue. You know, you're going to have to ask Leon how he felt and what was going on. And, you know, Belal, I know Belal's been training with Habib. So his performance was, you know, what you would expect.
First, just the overall vibe of Dana's response feels very telling into how he wanted this fight to go. Dana has never been good at masking his true emotions, and this is one of those times where Dana's true feelings about a situation can be felt through his body language and tone of voice. Sure, his response was professional enough, and he didn't outright voice his displeasure at how the fight went down, but at the same time, Dana can't even pretend to be even a little bit enthusiastic or happy with Belal winning the belt. Not only that, I think the part where Dana mentions that Belal had been training with Habib feels a little bit sardonic. Like, he's almost saying, yeah, Belal's been training with Habib, of course he's going to just shoot for the legs, what else did we expect? But in all reality, like, yeah, Belal's best shot at winning this fight was by wrestling early and wrestling often. And as good as Belal's striking looked last night, I think he would have had a much harder time winning the fight if he had just kept the fight standing, so it's not like you can really blame Belal for actually mixing up the martial arts in order to win this MMA fight. Apart from Dana's responses at the press conference, I really get the feeling that he was not in a good mood just based on how he answered the other questions that he was asked, even if they had nothing to do with last night's main event. Like, he just seemed really short with people, and he came off as really cold in some of his responses, and you might be saying that Dana was in a bad mood because of the fact that it was like 7 in the morning and he had stayed up all night, so he was feeling cranky, which honestly does make a lot of sense. But the thing is, I'm not the only one who gets the feeling feeling that Dana is irritated at how the main event went last night. Like, check out some of these YouTube comments. This guy says, looks like Dana is very angry that Belal won. Like, this is literally by far the most upvoted comment on this video, so it seems like I'm not alone in my theory here. Belal has been training with Khabib, so his performance was, you know, what you would expect. Very nice way to say that shit was boring, and this is exactly what I was just saying a moment ago. I really get the feeling that Dana's passive-aggressively blaming Khabib and the Dagestani fighting style for ruining this fight or something, when in reality, Belal's only chance of winning was to go for a lot of takedowns and grind Leon out. I'm glad someone in the comments mentioned this because I definitely picked up the same vibe as this commenter did when Dana said this. This guy says Dana is so pissed, LMAO, I love it. This guy says Dana is almost crying. This dude says Dana is fucking fuming, ha ha ha. This guy says Dana looks like not happy, clearly. And finally, this guy outright says Dana didn't seem happy with the main event result. Not only that, I've also found some Reddit posts that also speak to how Dana was clearly angry at how last night's main event went. This guy says, quote, wasn't a barn burner, I found the fight exciting. Watching a champ get drowned and pieced up on the feet, which was supposed to be his place of advantage, was something else. Welcoming a new champion by insulting a dominant performance is so lame. And honestly, I agree with this comment 100%. Like, it wasn't a stand and bang brawl, but the fashion in which Belal dominated Leon was honestly a sight to behold, and the fact that Dana dismisses the performance the way that he did just feels a little disrespectful to me. And God forbid Dana actually promotes one of his new champions instead of making comments that make people less interested in watching him fight in the future. This other commenter seems to agree, saying, I actually thought it was pretty fun. Belal looked phenomenal, tossing Leon around, striking, grappling defense. I enjoyed it. Fuck Dana. I don't know. I feel like you guys get my point here. Personally, I thought that Leon was going to walk away with the win heading into last night's event, and even though I wouldn't say I'm thrilled to have Belal as our new champion, I can't deny that he looked really damn impressive. However, if you look at how Dana put the belt on Belal, it looks like he's ready to jump off of a bridge. And when you listen to Dana's takes on the fight during the post-fight press conference, he doesn't even pretend to be happy for Belal winning the belt, even though this is literally a dream come true for the guy. And I get that Dana is a businessman and that the UFC is a business, but you would think that as a promoter, Dana would try to turn lemons into lemonade and do his best to try to prop up Belal as a champion instead of openly discrediting him and downplaying his performance. You already know that Dana is trying to set up Belal's first title defense against someone he doesn't match up well with stylistically, probably against Shavkat, but who really knows? And as much as I'm indifferent towards Belal's personality, and he can definitely be a bit of a boring fighter sometimes, there's a pretty big part of me that wants to see him defend his belt multiple times via lay and pray just despite Dana. Anyways, that's the video for today. Let me know your thoughts on the UFC 304 main event. Are you as surprised as I am that Belal ran through Leon the way that he did? Also, definitely let me hear your take on Dana's reaction towards Belal being champion. Do you also feel like he's incredibly salty that Belal is the champ like I do, or do you chalk up Dana's attitude to being up all night last night and feeling tired? Appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.